Prince Hill.
Sit. Yes. Wait. This is a book summary of How to Train Your Dog by Jen and Ryan Tate, unrelated to Andrew Tate, I think. So, there's 3 key ideas from the book. Well, Prince, sit. Wait. The 3 key ideas. Number 1, you got to understand your dog, okay? So this is doggy language. This is understanding that they need not only physical stimulation, but mental stimulation. They like to be worked. So the first thing is that dogs are not like humans, obviously. Dogs are very sensitive ears, they have a very sensitive nose. When they're first born, they first smell, and then they hear, and then they finally see. Whereas humans are born and we see. We get most of our data through our eyes, where dogs get most of print. Shit. Dogs get most of their data through their nose. So everything is smells. Any slight sound like birds or people or other dogs or cars or anything, prints. Sit. Wait. So they're very, very sensitive creatures. So what they talk about in the book, it's for puppies or any sort of dog owners, is be aware that any tiny little sound or smell is going to really, Prince, sit, yes. It's going to set them off, especially Afghan hounds. Prince is a 9-month-old Afghan hound puppy, and they have crazy smell, crazy sight, crazy hearing, so they're very, very sensitive. So being, Prince. So being understanding that sometimes if their ears are going down, if they're looking down, if their tail's down, usually for Prince, if his tail, Prince, come. So if he's really happy, Prince, his tail will start to come up. So it's kind of down, but my goal when I'm training him is to get his tail to come up. Let's see. Ready? Prince, come! Come on, Prince! Oh! Yes! Good boy! Good boy! Prince, come! Come! See how his tail comes up? Because he's having fun. So the biggest thing, we're getting into step number 2, sort of, is if you're having fun, the dog's having fun. If you're loving the dog, they're probably loving you. If the dog's doing something that you don't like and you're hating on the dog and you're hating the dog, they don't know what they're doing wrong. So it's understanding them. It's not the dog's fault. It's not your fault. It's just a journey and you're learning to understand the dog. So the ears, the eyes, where they're looking, are they licking their lips? Are their tails down? Sort of figuring out, do they look relaxed? Do they look stressed or do they look relaxed? Is pretty much understanding doggy language. The second thing with number 1 is they need mental stimulation as well as physical. So people get a fucking Kelpie and they take it to the dog park and they take it running with them, but they don't teach it how to sit, they don't teach it any manners, they don't teach it, which is not, it's not like their fault, it's just they don't understand the dogs. So dogs love like the thing of a Kelpie is they're used to being on the farm and rounding up sheep and doing all this crazy stuff on the farm. So they want to be engaged and watch. So something as simple as before you feed your dog, you come, Prince, sit, wait. Before you feed your dog, he doesn't, sit, wait. Before you feed your dog, I've never spoken into a camera whilst doing this. Before you feed the dog, just get them to wait and then go, yes. And then that's like, because they're thinking, oh my God, when am I going to eat? What am I allowed? And they're constantly thinking, right? So just getting to do little tiny things, if they like getting on the couch, get them to sit first. If they want food from the dinner table, get them to shake first. Good boy. Just make it fun, teach them tricks, and also see it as an opportunity to have a better relationship with your dog. Because if your dog's terrorizing everyone and everything and destroying things, and you know, if someone wants to pat it but your dog doesn't see, if you're walking them on leash and they don't walk nicely, so Prince, heel. Like if you can't go for a walk and they can't walk next to you nicely, it's not going to be fun. Sit. Yes. I see it all the time. People, at first, they have a puppy and it's cute and it's like, oh yeah, look, my little baby puppy is just pawing around everywhere. Ha! But then they get really fucking big and then they're pulling and you see the owners, their shoulders being ripped out and they're having a horrible time. If you're having a horrible time, the dog is confused and is like, why are you not loving me? Dogs only know love. Okay, so that's number one, is understanding them. The next thing, number two, is understanding yourself. Understand that, especially if it's your first dog, you're gonna make tons of mistakes, okay? So when you make a mistake, just like the first week I had Prince, I was at walking him down to the beach by the train station. The train went past. I dropped the big retractable leash and it made a big sound. And he fucking, my baby started running on the road and I'm losing it. So you learn from your mistakes, and now I know, make sure if there's any sounds coming around, make sure I'm holding the lead tight. If I'm walking him like that, I have the normal lead, not the retractable lead. So you just learn from, if they piss inside, if they shit inside, if they eat something, just learn from it. Because the first time a dog does something, they're giving you information. Every time after that they do something, it's the only responsibility is you're allowing them to do that. You're training them to do that. If I leave Ethernet cables out on the floor and he eats it the first time, which he did, and I lay out another Ethernet cable, then he's probably gonna eat it, right? So dogs they're innocent. They're innocent, loving little, aren't you, hey? Okay, so that's the second thing, is understanding you, and understand that everything you're doing is training the dog. Even like, okay, no, we did a training session and then the training session finished. It's like, no, the training session didn't finish because you're still training them. Everything they do is you're training them to do that. So let's think of an example. If every time I'm eating my food, Prince comes over to me and he puts his paw up and then I reward him, right? I think it's cute at first, but now every time I'm eating food, he comes up to me and he puts his paw there. And I can't get annoyed at him because I've trained him to do that with food, with something that he loves. Okay, here's another example. When he wants to go outside, he barks, right? So every time he barks and we let him out, we're training him to bark when he wants to go outside. So it's everything you do is train. If you're going for a walk, this is a big thing. If you're going for a walk, this is what a big mistake that I made. Going for a walk, Prince is going crazy. He wants to meet another dog. He's looking at another dog. Instead of me being of value, Prince has put all of the value on the other dog and he's pulling, he's going crazy, he's not listening to me. There could be a highway in front of me, but if there's a dog on the other side, he'll go because he's like, I want to see that dog. Every time I get excited, I get to see the dog. If the dog's excitement, wow, that's so crazy, right? They get blinders on, they get focused. So I let the other dog and Prince play with each other before, Prince gives his attention to me. I'm training him to go absolutely fucking crazy and ignore me and put all of the value on other dogs if I allow that. So now I don't actually let him interact with any dogs unless we're friends and we know them. I see a dog and I fucking walk the other way. I'm like, I do not want Prince to get in the habit of ignoring me and putting all the value and focus on the other dog, because then he might get hurt or the other dog might bite him or something crazy might happen. So every time you're walking your dog and the value isn't on you, you're training your dog to fucking ignore you, right? Because if you're not fun, they're not going to care about you really. They're going to look at the shiny red object, the garbage truck flying past. So understand that you're putting the dog in environments and situations where they're either going to win or they're going to fail. And every time they fail, it gets harder and harder to change their habits. So just know that I cannot stress that enough. Everything you do is training. If you've never trained your dog, you've trained them, okay? Right? So it's not an on and off, it's always training them, okay? Number 3, this is my favorite, is the training. There are 3 steps to training your dog effectively. Number 1 is, are they hungry? Because if they're not hungry, if they don't like toys, and if they're not engaged, then there's no, like, imagine you've got Prince. Prince, come. Prince, come. Prince, sit. Oh, what an idiot. Stupid dog. No! The dog's not stupid, you're just not engaging. So I go, Prince, come! Prince, come! Good boy! Oh, look at the tail. So you gotta be engaging, you gotta have food, and then once they're engaged, once they enjoy food, you can then lure the dog. This is crazy. You can make them do anything you want. You probably can't see that. Make him drop. Good boy, yes. Come around. Step on his big paws. Oh. Good boy, yes. And then you notice me saying yes and good boy. That's called a bridge. Because the way it works with classical conditioning, every time he hears a word, at the same time he does an action, if he associates that word with something good and positive, then he then creates a neural pathway where the action is now positive. So positive word mixed with action, the action becomes positive. So every time he does something I want, I say the word that he thinks is good. So the first step to build up this bridge, Prince, come, is when you get them, you just say, yes. Yes, good boy. So now he's like, oh my God, yes. Every time I hear the word yes, my brain is flooded with dopamine and oxytocin. So you just say, yes, yes. What I like to do, Prince, sit. Every time he looks at me, if he'll do it, yes, good boy. Whenever he looks at me, I just say yes. That means, look at me, it's gonna pay, it gets rewarded. So once you've got the marker and you say, yeah, you can also get a clicker too, then it's actually fast because I can't give him food at the instant he does something I like. So instead of giving him food, I say the word, yes, and then I feel him, because otherwise he would be learning, he would be thinking that, oh, the behavior that I want is I shake and then I go down. But I want to teach him the behavior is up as straight away. So Prince, drop. Yes. So and then it's bang, instant. That's where you start getting into more special kind of training stuff. But as soon as you say the word, as soon as they do the action, yes, and it's like they're sharp. They're better trained. You watch really good trainers, and it's fucking instant because that's the only way they know and they understand. So I think that's it. Is that it, Prince? Let's show you guys what we can do. Prince, come. Good boy. So you can do spin, sit, heel. Oh, don't embarrass me, Prince. There you go. Good boy. Then get a left turn. Drop. Yes. So that is the 3 keys. It's a good book. Nice. I also like Andy Kruger on YouTube. Number 1, understand them. They're not humans, obviously. They're very sensitive. They love smells and sounds. They need to be mentally and physically stimulated. Number 2, understand you. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to fuck up. It's all a learning experience. If you have hate and resentment for the dog, they're going to be confused. It's going to cause friction. They're going to be disengaged. If you're having fun, they're having fun. Number 3, how to train them. get them engaged. If they don't like food, they're probably overweight or they have a health issue. So have the engagement with the food, then start luring them around. You know, get them to follow you in a line, in a circle, whatever, through your legs. Whee! I like this one. Sit. Yes. And then get a nice little. That's when you know you're a dog trainer. Yes. And then get really good at it. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Yes. Prince, come. Up. Yes. Good boy. Good boy.